Okay, so as I was saying, this area, whether I do anything to this ground, it grows so much Bermuda grass. I don't mind anything else, but the Bermuda's bad. It will stop your plants from growing and snuff them out. So we planted every one of these, and we have a few areas with blueberries we did different. This one we did in pots. And you can kind of see there is a pot down in there. Kind of dig it up a little. And what this did was we planted in 15-gallon pots because we had a ton of them. And we cut the bottoms into an X so that the roots can get out. But what it does is it stops the gophers from coming in. And in areas like this with the Bermuda grass, it keeps it in control where I can come back in and actually come and get all the weeds out of here, because all these weeds every year have to be removed for the blueberries to grow. So let's talk sulfur. They're not going to grow without it. You need a complete sulfur diet for these things. So there is plant foods for rhododendrons. They're high acid plants also. And you can get, I've used Epsoma, I think has a rhododendron all-purpose fertilizer that has the sulfur in it. But those are very expensive. I mean, 50 pounds, who knows what it is now. It used to be 60 bucks. It could be 100 now. And I use hundreds of pounds. So I highly suggest to save a little money again. Buy some sulfur. Let me show you. And if you want fruit, you're not going to have it without the sulfur again. So you can try pine needles, like everybody says, you're not going to get it. You can use peat moss, you're not going to get it. Now, I do plant all of these in peat moss. The plant must be planted in peat moss. Don't plant in your soil. It is too perfect pH. It can't handle it. It needs acid. So every one of these have been planted in peat only. And the compost, as you can see, I can barely see the bottom, comes in every year. And we like that compost. It feeds those plants twice a year, spring and in the middle of summer. Fertilize these suckers. You didn't get blueberries because you didn't love them enough. So while I'm fertilizing, we got to use sulfur. It doesn't matter the brand. I just happen to get this brand. I don't even know. Anyway, this is what sulfur looks like. It's little yellow discs. Right there. So they're little yellow discs. And yes, you can add too much, but we're not going to. So what I do, I don't measure. A lot of it will be like, oh, this much and that much, and then you panic, you're gonna add too much, too little. I find the good rule of thumb is just salt and pepper everything. So what I would normally do, and I'll show you without it because I'm not gonna weed all these today, but normally first thing would be first, you wanna get to that soil. So we would wanna come in and we gotta get all your weeds out of here. I mean, you've gotta actually take the time to get in here if you've got grass and stuff in there and get rid of them. The other thing is on your blueberries, you know, you only want like 6 main stems coming out. You don't want 40. That anytime you get too many, you're limiting your fruit for sure. And you can see they're in full bloom. They're happy, they want fruit. So remove all your weeds, get a nice cheap pile of poop and some sulfur. So I just do this. Now I'm in a my pH, I have to bring it down a lot. Some of you might be in a little bit better zone where you don't have to add as much, but chances are you're gonna have to add a lot. We all do. It's something that you just don't realize is going on in the blueberry farms. And you'll notice also we got 2 different types here. You're thinking maybe these guys look like they're not as happy as those. We have totally different types of blueberries. So we have sunshine blue, emerald, misty, there's probably even more. I buy so many weird things. So you want 2 different types of blueberry. You will get fruit from your one blueberry plant, but we want more. You want more than, you know, a handful, right? So get it a friend, and blueberries, it doesn't matter. They like each other. Just get it for the same area. These are all called Southern High Bush. We're in California, zone 9A. We can't do a lot of the northern blueberries because our climate is too warm. But let me tell you, as you can see, we're in dead of winter. They're blooming as should be. We're going to get fruit. So I think rabbit eyes and Southern High Bush grow out here, but there's a type for everywhere. So if you don't have a blueberry, get it, put it in a pot, fertilize it well twice a year, grow it in peat, and reap the benefit of one of the most exceptional fruits in the world is the blueberry. More nutritional benefit than any.